I wanna get lost in you, rest underneath your skin.
If you've already got your song selected, you can skip this video because it's not really going to help you. But if you're still wrestling with or want some other angles to consider coming up with your first dance song, then I will start now. So, the first thing to think about, number one, is we want to do this from the inside out, not the outside in. And what I mean by that is a lot of times couples will try to think of, well, what is a song that like everybody in the audience likes, right? All the guests. And if you spent any time on the internet, you already know you cannot please everybody. And second of all, as I will keep reminding you, this is your wedding. So it's not about picking songs that they like, because everyone there already loves you and wants to see you. Well, maybe except for the crazy aunt and uncle who had to get invited because of family politics. But everybody else is on your side. They're cheering for you. They're going to like whatever you play because they like you guys. So instead of thinking about that, we want to think from the inside out. And there's three different kind of ways, creative ways, hopefully, that maybe will help spark something for you guys in finding a song. And those are mood, music, and moment. Okay, so the first one, mood, is if there's just a mood that you want to have for your song and for your wedding, then just run with it. And what I mean by that is like very common would be, love and romance. Maybe that's the mood that you want or the emotion. Or maybe you want it playful and fun because as a couple, you guys are known as like the playful and fun and flirty and tons of energy couples. Or maybe you want it like serious and, serious but just kind of deep and longing because that's just what resonates with you. There's no right or wrong. It's the only right thing is what resonates with you, meaning what makes sense and feels good between you guys as a couple. So if you think this is a broader brush when you think about mood, but it does again help narrow it down because if the mood is love and romance, well then that certainly excludes tons of songs and makes it much easier for what you're looking for. So that's one way to look at it. The second is music. And this is a super simple way, meaning if there is a artist that you guys love together, maybe you went and saw the concert multiple times, or maybe something special happened at one of his or her concerts, or you were stuck on the road and this song came on and that's when you realized you're in love. Like this is where the story comes in, right? So if there's a song and or an artist that you two as a couple are just like, there's a special bond there, well then pick one of those songs because that's going to make you excited. Again, that's what I'm talking about by giving you the feels and the energy, because if you have that, boop, it's going to go out to your audience and to your guests, and they're just gonna feed off of it and be like, man, this is for some, they can feel the magic between you two, and that's what they really want to see. So that's music. And then the third is moment, which is when you look over your all's relationship, think about just different moments. And if there's something that stands out to both of you or one of you really strongly, that can be an idea for looking about songs. So I'm just going to riff off on several here. So like if you got in a huge fight, maybe you all broke up and got back together. Well, that's a moment or an energetic moment. In that case, obviously not a positive necessarily moment, but it was a very strong drama. Something happened. Okay, so are there songs that kind of define that period for you guys? Or maybe, like I was saying earlier, maybe there was a breakdown of a car or some kind of accident or something and you got through it together, or you helped each other, or one person helped the other. So boom, there we have another powerful moment. Or maybe one of you was, working really hard to achieve something like your master's or, get a new job or something. And it really meant a lot to you two. And that's what matters. It doesn't matter about the audience. It just means if there's a moment that means a lot between you two, those are good ideas for songs. And again, the moment doesn't have to necessarily be like positive, all happy feely. It could be like a tough thing that you got through. So a good way to work on this one is like write down 5 to 10. And actually it would probably be even better if you both wrote down your own five to 10 moments, in our relationship. Again, these are not necessarily defining your relationship. They're just moments where you had super off the charts energetic or emotional reaction or emotional experiences. Again, not necessarily positive. There can be some. In fact, you should have a couple negative ones in there just to see the picture. And if you write those both down and you both talk about it, then you can maybe agree on one or two moments, and boom, now those become your filters for looking for songs. So if it was if one of the moments was the getting through a very, very tough time together, maybe the loss of a loved one that you both shared or one of you shared, like there are plenty of songs that talk about that moment and that story. And so if you pick that as your first dance, now the energy from that moment and that song combined with the day is going to just like blow up in you guys in a good way, and it's going to go all over the guests, and they're going to absolutely eat up the first dance regardless of the move. So we're just talking about the energy here. Hope that was helpful. That's a couple things. Again, this is not a, you don't want to just Google, oh, wedding song and pick the first one, because that's going from the outside in. If you really want a magical first dance, it's all about coming from the inside out. And so we have to do a little bit, it's a little bit of the feels and all that. And so we got to do a little bit of that inner work. But hey, surprise, you're getting married. So you're going to be doing this for a long time, not on the songs, but just doing this inner work. So why not start with something like this to really get those reps in and get that worked out. So hope you found that helpful, and continue along in the course. Thank you.